You're listening to The Sacred CEO, your go-to mini podcast for energy-boosted business magic. I'm Elyse Falzone, your spiritual sage, and here we treat your business like the living, breathing soul that it is. Energy meets strategy. Each episode, I'll channel insights, check in with the chakra blueprint of your organization, and give your business the soulful upgrade it's been waiting for. Let's make business sacred and successful. In this thing, I'm so excited to have this first episode be officially live for the Sacred CEO, and we're gonna dig into some juicy bits today. I'm so excited for our first female entrepreneur, woman on a mission that is gonna be highlighted and featured in today's episode. And I'm going to be channeling and reading for her business a dear friend of mine, Mel McSherry. She is an international business and life guide who utilizes a spiritual tool called human design. I love human design, by the way, in partnership with traditional business development tools and frameworks to help inspired yet overwhelmed entrepreneurs honor their lives and be the architects of true success. I'm really excited to dive into Mel's business, give her some love and injection of inspiration and creation. But before that, I want to share just a little bit more about my personal story, because as these episode mini podcast series come along, you'll learn a little bit more about my background, why I even do what I'm doing right now, how it works, and why listening is also going to support your own personal business. So even though I'll be channeling someone else's business, although I could channel yours, in the show notes, there's a form that you can fill out if you want your business highlighted and an intuitive message, spiritual business audit reading on the mini episodes. Make sure to fill out that application. You today can receive inspiration for your own business by listening to the channeled messages of Mel's business. Ever since I was a little girl, I had the ability to see, hear, feel all of the things that are beyond our normal senses. Back in the day, I used to call it the sixth sense, right? Now we really call it intuition or psychic abilities. Different people relate to those words in different ways, and some people want to run for the hills when they hear the word psychic. But the way that I use the energy and use the attunement of this is not as a, this is your fortune, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Nope, I'm not into that. What I'm able to do is tune into the field that exists in us and around us, and I can see the patterning that is going on. And so I've done this with people's bodies for many years. Even grew up as a gymnast and dancer. The physical body is like a playground to me, and I can see those energetic tendencies. And through the years, the women who would show up in my retreat spaces, who would show up for my healing sessions and all of the different things that I was involved in, were women in business, women on a mission. And so our first guest today actually was a part of one of my very first Soul Sister Masterminds way back in the day. And this beautiful pairing of spirituality and business has been on my heart for many years. I've been an entrepreneur myself, always. I've never really had a job. I've always worked for myself. And if I ever worked with someone else, it's always been a 1099 contractor, someone brings me in. So I'm very passionate about entrepreneurship. I'm very passionate about spirituality. And this body mapping has now been shown and revealed to me for people's businesses in a brand new, exciting way that really came forward after my near-death experience that happened 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago now. Wow. So this is exciting and fun, and I wanted to bring an interactive way to each of you so that you could really be getting and receiving the goodness, the golden nuggets that happen through the channeling of others' businesses. So I'll be sharing more about these pieces and parts of my story, but for now, I want to dig right in to Mel's business and give a little juice. First things first, I always start with channeling. So for those of you who are watching either Instagram, YouTube, I don't know, if you're watching a video, you'll see I've got some channeled notes here. For those of you who are listening, you might hear some pages rustle around. And that's okay, because that's how we're going to do this. And each episode is going to look a little different because there's going to be a different energy, a different vibe that comes forward. But today we're digging into Mel's business, and one of her biggest desires inside of her work, in conjunction with the human design mapping and platform, and really it's a technology. For those of you who don't know much about human design, I really encourage you to go look up your human design. Heck, hire Mel to have her support you with your human design in conjunction with business. Human design is a beautiful mapping system of our own bodies and energies. It's like astrology mixed with I Ching, mixed with something else. And inside of it, you learn about your tendencies as a leader. You learn about your tendencies as a person, why you do the things you do, and different energetic patterns that can support you. So inside of that, Mel is really desiring partnership with companies. She's also looking to increase her cash flow, aren't we all? So that cash flow, in conjunction with this partnership, in conjunction with the voice of Mel's business, we're going to go into some channeled energy. So the first thing that came forward, Mel, was creation energy. There is this deep desire for new creative energy and aliveness, a spark, if you will, right? Part of Mel's form that she filled out had to do with this kind of like lull that she's felt like she's been in. And so anytime that we're in a lull, we're looking for something that is going to relight the flame, to spark the flame. So if you yourself have been in a lull in your business or a lull in life, where is the spark coming from? So typically when we look at reigniting a spark, it's trying something new. It's changing your perspective of what you're looking at, your surroundings. It's some sort of art or creation. It's getting outside to play, allowing your inner child to come to life. So for Mel and her business specifically, I actually started laughing when this came through. It said, your business wants to go on a cruise, margarita in hand, kicking back, chillaxing. Now, of course, I'm joking a little bit, but this was the imagery that came forward, and the reasoning that this imagery came forward is because there's a desire for deep nourishment. So quite literally, Mel, your business is wanting to go to someplace lush, someplace that is deeply nourishing. So you could take this in two different ways. You could take this into a meditation realm, or you could take this into more of a literal space and actually book a trip and take your business with you. So this is also one thing that I didn't specifically mention. We'll mention it many, many, many times throughout all these episodes, that while Mel is the face of her business, while I'm the face of my business, I am not my business. Mel is not her business. Her business actually has its own energy, its own voice, and its own agenda. And so many times when we are the face of our product or our business, we tend to allow our own fears and our own voice to stifle what the business is actually asking. So I'm just going to remind Mel to step out of the way for a moment and allow her business to be the forefront and to be the thing that is leading the charge. So your business is saying, I want to go somewhere tropical, somewhere warm, somewhere lush, somewhere that is nourishing. Think Mexico, Costa Rica, Hawaii, someplace that you're going to be held in the nourishment of the land, where the land is very jungly and rich, and the sights and the sounds and the colors are vibrant beyond belief. There's a vibrancy that has dimmed and almost kind of gotten like sucked dry inside of your business. And so immediately taking your business to be held in the nourishment, to be in the bright blue ocean, to be in the bright green jungle, witnessing the toucans and the parrots, the bright richness. And I know I'm repeating myself over and over and over here, but this is really, really important for your business because it's a bit stale. And it's when I tune into the field, it's like in a vapor right now, right? It's like sometimes here, sometimes not, smoke and mirrors, like what is going on? And so we want to bring the aliveness, the thriveness, that's a new fun word, the thriving ability of your business back on track. So I invite you right now in this moment to visualize yourself in the lushness, in the energy of nourishment, rich, beautiful foods, the passion fruit, the dragon fruit, that bright pink energy, it's coming in. So there's a reinvention that is on the line for you. And it was also coming in, giving yourself a day to 3 days to create, play, and think. When we get stale and stagnant, when we're looking to find what is the next thing for our business, we actually have to carve out space and time to give ourselves a mini retreat, right? And to allow our business the opportunity to speak to us. So create that space on your calendar, even if you're not hiring anybody to support you through the process, which you could, by the way. But even if you just create it for yourself and make a list of powerful questions that you can ask your business. You could chat GPT those questions if you wanted to. But what are you trying to tell me, business? What is the new exciting energy that wants to be birthed? There's a big push. And I mean, like, the energy is so palpable. I can't even get to the rest of my notes because you've got to pour into your business. And not like I need to do more ads and I need to do more talking and I need to do more posting. It is listening to your business. So give yourself a day to 3 days in your calendar where you are doing some artwork, where you are dancing with some music. You are bringing to life the energy of your business, okay? Now, your business in its energetics are very classy, right? There's a very classic energy that's present. But you are being asked to bring forward a very bold twist. In order to partner with the level of businesses that I see for you, there's got to be a bold, epic twist, a voice that pierces through. Now, this is really interesting because Mel, even in her, form, shared that she's a projector in human design. Now, for those of you who know about human design, you'll know, but if you don't know about human design, this particular archetype of energy wants to be invited to speak, wants to be invited to the party, isn't always the one who puts themselves out there to make the first move. And yet a projector really can see the patterns. A projector is really great at tuning into what's going on. Their intuition is really on point, which obviously makes Mel an incredible guide for human design with business. So this is beautiful, but also sometimes social media can be a really hard thing for projectors in general. So if you know you're a projector or you feel like you might be a projector type, social media might not be the main move for you when it comes to marketing. You may want to look at something like ads where that's working for you. And or in Mel's particular case, and for your business, Mel, especially in relationship to wanting to create more partnerships, what I'm really seeing, hearing, feeling is that this is about you getting really bold with how you reach out to companies. So creating that like one-liner, two-liner, what is the most through line result that you bring? And I'm laughing right now because I have an incense stick that is burning. And it's been like, flowing all over the place. But right now, as I'm talking about this, it is straight as a board. It is going straight up, a perfectly straight smoke line. And at the very, 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 very top of the ceiling, it's starting to swirl. Everything is information. So this is telling me that this is right on track. You've got to have a really, really, really clear, directed energy at who and what you're speaking to. Human design is very bold. It's very, it's very broad and yet specific. So I wrote down 2 things. For your partnerships, got to get bold with this, and every day contact 10 companies with intention. So many times, especially as female entrepreneurs, we like to get into the like, I'm going to lay back and I just want to receive. And yet there's an invitation to put yourself forward, put your big girl britches back on and go to work. I think that we have such a culture right now of, I want everything to be easy. I want to work less hours. And yes, we absolutely can do that. I've personally done it. I've helped other businesses do it. Women do it all the time in the industry. But, or maybe I should say, and we also have to infuse it with a little bit of a numbers game with the energetics. So part of the strategy right now to get the momentum moving, there's got to be a strategy with the work. And so this may or may not land for you, but something like this, where you are contacting 10 companies with intention over and over and over and over for 30 days, for 45 days, for 60 days, for 90 days. Even if you want to go to other routes and do some social media and do this, it's like pick something and do it full out, full force, following the bridge of the line there, okay? So picking something like that so that you are consistently and constantly with intention contacting these companies, because that's your main goal right now, is to connect with partnerships. So let that be the linear thing. Then we look at the energetics, and that's where intention, that's where creating some artwork, that's where bringing in energy that is going to light up the life force of your business, AKA sipping on something awesome, some sort of fresh juice. I know, like, I brought alcohol and a margarita in at the beginning of this, but let's take that out and just the richness of nourishment, right? The fun, the energy. So simultaneously with the direction of the 10 companies, pick 3 topics that you successfully teach. What are the 3 things that you teach in every single email you send out, every single newsletter, every single social media post, everything that you do? Have it be on those 2 to 3 main topics of teaching. Again, you've got to bring life and energy. So you want to speak to the thing that you want people to come for. Come again, boom. Come again, boom. Come again, boom. So that people know who and how you are reliable in the energy and the frequency that you are putting out. Now, this is really something crazy right now. I am like drenched in sweat as I'm bringing this forward. So this is also telling me there's some detoxing energy. Like I'm like, whoo, like actually almost about to pass out. There's so much energy that is coming forward. There's so much energy that has been blocked in the pipeline. So you've got to make sure that you're working with water, cleansing your own physical body, and detoxing the old from your business so that you can allow the newness to come to life. There's a card that I drew from a really beautiful book called a deck called Sacred Geometry Oracle Deck by Francine Hart. And the card that I pulled is the Dancing Prayer. It's fire, it's energy. Literally, I'm like shaking right now. There's so much energy that wants to literally erupt. I feel the eruption of a volcano. I'm gonna actually have to end this episode very soon because there's so much energy happening. So we don't even realize how much we've been suffocating our businesses. We've got to allow our business to speak. We've got to allow our business to come to life. Mel, yours is ready. She is on fire. The other thing that I want to say that I forgot to write down in my notes, but I'm remembering right now is even if you're not going to go hire a photographer, get yourself spicy, get yourself hot, ready, get your makeup on, get your hair did, get your outfit on. And even if you have your partner take your photos or you set up a self timer on your phone or on your computer, get some new fresh energy going. Start to feel yourself. Okay, this is a really beautiful amazing tip for anyone else in business who's just feeling stale. We want to get out of that staleness and bring some spice to life. So get yourself feeling hot, get yourself feeling sexy, put that camera on and just take some new photos and videos. Even if you don't use them, start to feel yourself in a new and exciting way. All right, y'all, I really actually have to bounce. I'm dripping in sweat. I've got to go cleanse and sage. So I am going to intend that as I do that, Mel, I'm also cleansing and clearing whatever is going on in your business. So I'm going to be doing that for you. Ah, la, la. Whoa, move your body, Mel. Like, whoo, move your body. There's a lot of energy that needs to move. So make sure you do that. Say a prayer and blessing over your business and listen, because she's ready to come to life. I will see you all on the next episode. Make sure you fill out the form if you want to be featured. You can also book in for your full spiritual business audit on my website. Mwah. Peace, love, awakening. See you later. Thanks for tuning in to The Sacred CEO, your go-to mini podcast for energy-boosted business magic. I'm Elyse Falzone, your spiritual sage, and I'll see you on the next round. And for those of you who are ready for your own business soulful upgrade, be sure to click the link below in the show notes to apply to have your business featured on the show. Love and awakening. Bye-bye.